I remember when I was like 15 years old, I was in this parking lot, and it was like at a grocery store or something, and somebody didn't put their cart, in that corral thing. Well, I don't know, the things with the two railings, you know what I mean? And they didn't put it away. So then it started like rolling, and it was really fast, like downhill, and it was about to hit this like big SUV, right? So I was like, I started running after it, trying to save it from crashing into this car. To be nice, it's not my car. I'm being a nice guy, girl at the time, but still, you know what I mean. So I'm like, chasing, trying to save it, right? This old bitch gets out of her vehicle, and she thinks that I'm the one that let this car go. And she starts screaming at me, like, I'm like, I was trying to help. She's screaming at me. She's definitely dead now. God forgive me. Maybe she was a good woman having an off day. Um, May she rest in peace. Hi, thank you for your question. I don't know if I answered this or not. I forget. But I'm gonna answer it again because it's a good question, I feel. Roman has a great relationship with not only my parents but my in-laws. So yeah, I'll share some pictures. My mom is very private, so I don't share pictures of her out of respect. But I have tons of my father in Roman, and also I have some of my in-laws in Roman. This is my dad in Roman when Roman was really young. I'm not sure exactly how young. I'm bad at guessing. I'm gonna say a year and a half, maybe. Oh, here's another picture. Look how red Roman's hair is. By the way, he gets it from my dad. His hair's gray now, obviously, but he gets it from my dad. Look at how it's so red. My dad's a guitar player. That's like actually been like his job my whole life. Obviously he had to take like, other jobs, like day jobs and stuff to make ends meet when I was growing up. But he's always been a guitar player. In the 80s before I was born, like right before I was born, he was on the road. And this is Roman and him setting up a guitar or repairing a guitar. I can't remember which one. This is like a semi-recent picture of us, like maybe a couple years ago. No, yeah, I don't know how long, but another picture. And I love this picture of my mother-in-law and my son. I think it's so cute. We were actually on, I'm not sure the name of the mountain, but we were like on a mountain. And there's Rosie, she's so little, and then Eli. I love this picture. And then here is me, Roman, Eli, my mother-in-law, and my father-in-law. I love this picture too. So yeah, he gets along with all of them. We have a good relationship. We're very, very lucky to have, not just one or two, but gosh, like 4 supportive parents in our life. We're very, very lucky for that. You know how that girl posted a video where she's like, oh, I look sweet and innocent, and then she showed herself in like a denim vest, and she's like, but this is my dark side. And now like big creators are like making fun of her, which is like super mean girl vibes. Like, you don't look fucking cool. And her account's banned. I don't know the story, but I know TikTok. I mean, I'm just getting back from a post ban. They just banned fucking everybody. They don't care. There is so much cringe content from shit creators out there who are just awful people. If you have a big platform and you choose to mock somebody who is just different than you, just living their lives, who is not harming you at all, just because you think it's fucking hilarious or you think it's cringe or whatever, that is so fucking shitty, man. I really feel like you didn't move past 7th fucking grade. I've seen chicks with like 1 million followers duetting this chick or stitching them or making fun of them and stuff, and it's like, what are you fucking doing? Grow the fuck up. I'll make a prayer to the rainbow's head. I'll never live to match the beauty of care. Rainbow's so it's hard to find someone with that kind. So I don't have a lot of time because I have my medication appointment soon. But I have to tell you this story because I just remembered it and it's so funny. So I'm only third generation Irish, and when one of my great grandparents came over from Ireland, they came over to America, with the rest of that side of my family, and she decided, my great grandmother decided that she didn't like America, and she instantly booked it back to Ireland. Then my family, over the years, had to convince her to come back a second time. But I don't think she wanted to leave because she came here and she was like, "Yup, this ain't my gig. I can't do it. I ain't built like this," and went back to Ireland. And so they had to convince her to come back to America again. I just think that's so funny that she went through all of that, stepped foot in America, and she's like, "Fuck this shit. I'm going back." By the way, that was one of my great grandparents that, in Ireland, even I think when they moved here, they kept chickens in the house. So yeah, nothing like me. Hi, thank you so much. Actually, I get this comment a lot on how did I pick Roman's name. So what happened is my son's father always wanted a kid named Romeo. And listen, I look Irish as hell. I'm sorry, but I was not gonna name my little Irish ginger kid Romeo. I just felt like it didn't fit. Last time I said that, I offended a lot of mothers of people named Romeo. I think it's a fine name, just not for my kid. So then I ended up looking in a baby book. And by the way, I should state that my name choices were pretty friggin' bad. I almost named my kid Diesel. Yeah. Living human being, I almost named Diesel. So bullet dodged. But I was looking through a baby book one day, and I saw the name Roman, and I liked it because it was a compromise. It wasn't Romeo, but it was close. But also I liked it because it was kind of like, I'm Catholic, and it kind of, sorta, Roman Catholic. I don't know. I kind of liked that. It's funny. His name is Roman Anthony, but he's not Italian at all. But his dad really liked it too, and yeah, we just kind of went with it. Actually, it's funny, his name was actually going to be Gabriel, but then he had a cousin who had a kid at the same time, and they named that kid Gabriel, so we couldn't take that name. So yeah, that's how I chose the name, because it was a compromise, or how we chose the name. It was a compromise between what we both wanted, kind of. More so what he wanted, but what I would go with. But I think it fits him perfectly. So yeah, thank you so much. I let my kid go on electronics as much as he wants. And you may think this is a bait post, because, I'm always getting comments, your kid is so spoiled, just because I provide him with basic accommodation so that he's on the same level as neurotypical kids in some situations. But hey, it's not just that. It's not just that. Somebody asked me to do a video on the stigmas versus the realities of autism, and as I was doing this is probably, I realized, one of the most annoying stigmas that we've dealt with. My son showed an interest in electronics at a very young age, and although of course a lot of kids this day and age are drawn to electronics, I would argue to say most of them, a lot of times kids with autism are even more so drawn, because I know for my son, electronics are predictable, technology is predictable. The world isn't predictable, but electronics pretty much are. He knows if I hit this button, this is going to happen, and that's reliable, that's safe. And from that safety, he developed, hobbies that can turn into really profitable ventures in the future, such as coding. My kid is 8 years old, and he's already coding on Berkeley. He literally is already, building characters, scenarios, he codes in, Java, HTML. I have no freaking clue what he's doing. I remember one time I was in a waiting room, and some, old dude said to me, if your son was on that computer less, he'd probably talk a lot more, because my son was nonverbal till the age of 5. Now my son is 8, and he has so much knowledge in that one field when it comes to coding that, it is over the head of any adult we know. I'm sure if we research the field for an expert, there'd be someone on his level, but he is just so beyond us. And why would I not nourish something like that? Something that can really turn into a profitable venture one day, because it's not outdoors? Because he doesn't get dirty doing it? What? I'm a farmer. I'm a poultry farmer. My kid doesn't like being outside getting dirty, and guess what? That's fine. And you want to know something? Even if my kid was into something like just watching YouTube videos all day, I'd still let him do it, because you want to know something? Happiness is profitable enough. I was a kid who had to go outside from morning till night. I wasn't allowed inside. That's how it was when I was a kid. And I'm gonna be real with you. Do I think anything dramatically changed my intelligence or experiences from doing that all day? Not really. Not really. But do I think my son having access to something that really allows him to thrive and even like provides him with knowledge and experience is really going to help him in the future? Yeah, I do. So don't let people shit on you. If your kid has a hobby in electronics, allow it to flourish. You know, with restrictions, with parental controls, of course, because there's so many creeps out there. But I'm not afraid to say it. When therapies are done, when homeschool's done, if he wants to be on his computer all night, he can be. This is a PSA to anybody who is pregnant. And you might be thinking, who are you to give advice to, pregnant people? Well, I was a pregnant people once, so... Listen, I'm sort of qualified. I'm not a doctor, but... I don't know. Anyways, listen. I know what it's like. If this is your first kid, listen, I should have specified. If this is your first kid, right? You're getting horror stories. I don't know why people feel the need to do this, but when you're pregnant with your first child, like, people feel the need to tell you horror stories about their pregnancies and their birth stories, and it's like they want to scare you, and why, I don't know. Why do they want to scare you? When I was pregnant, guess how many positive stories I heard from people? 0. Guess how many negative? Probably about 37, not that I was counting. And listen, I'm not trying to degrade anybody that had a traumatic birth story or a traumatic pregnancy, but the reality is, that's not the majority, and I don't think that people should be have fear instilled in them, horrific fear, because of your experience. So here's the PSA, okay? I'm finally getting to it. You are likely going to be fine. You're gonna be scared and you're gonna be nervous, because that's natural. But listen, when you get home and you think to yourself, oh my god, and you're freaking out and you're like, oh my god, what if I swaddle this baby wrong and completely suffocate it? You're gonna be okay still. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna find your way. Even if you don't find it in a way that everybody tells you you're supposed to find it, you're still gonna find your way. Even if you don't have what everybody deems as motherly instinct, or you don't know everything right off the bat, it's okay. Because you're gonna figure it out. You will. I'm convinced that there is this thing in people where they really feel like they have to tell people catastrophic stories about, birth and pregnancy, and while it does happen, like I said, if you look up the statistics, it is not commonplace. You're likely gonna be fine. You're gonna catch on to things, even if you feel flustered, even if you feel scared, even if you feel overwhelmed, you're gonna figure it out. You will figure it out. For one, I don't like PDA. I'm just somebody who does not like PDA. My husband knew that before he married me. It's not something he's super, butthurt about. He just mentioned it in a video. I'm just somebody that does not feel comfortable with PDA. And that's totally okay. I'm allowed to have my own boundaries, and that's fine. Also, another thing, to be frank, I live in a rural area. Although I'm accepted in my direct community, I'm not stupid. I know that if I leave my community and I go out in public and people see me as male, being affectionate with another male, that's not always looked kindly upon, and it can become a safety issue. And if you've never had to worry about that, you're very lucky. Not only that, but when one of us is working outside of the home, it's very commonplace for us to lie and say we have a wife at home, because if you say, oh, my husband, then it can directly impact sales, customer relations. That's a very normal everyday thing where I live. So yeah, because of personal boundaries, and because I know not everybody shares the same beliefs as me, and if one day that goes away, that'd be great, but will I be affectionate in public, even if everybody was accepting one day? Probably not, because it's just not for me, and that's okay.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. My phone
sit by myself, talking to the moon.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
I'm gonna tell a wild story about how I got catfished years ago in just 3 minutes. I'm determined to fit it. A long time ago, I get this message from a trans guy on Instagram, right? Now, I had a lot of followers back then. Like, I was bigger on Instagram. I wasn't on TikTok. Anyways, he had a big following as well. Well, pretty big, a decent following. And so we started talking, and, like, we hit it off, like, pretty well. Like, I enjoyed talking to him. Like, he seemed like a really chill guy. He had, like, a very developed profile, like, on his page. He had pictures of, like, before and after, like, with binding and stuff. He had, like, just tons and tons of pictures. Like, it seemed, like, very, very legit. Like, I would not even question if this was a real person or not. He wanted to FaceTime with me. He wanted to talk on the phone. Like, all boxes were checked. I think I even asked him to, like, send me something, like, with my name or something just to prove he wasn't, because I'm always suspicious of stuff like that. And, yeah, he came through. So, it seemed like it was legit. Then one day, I was feeling really anxious. You know, I deal with anxiety. I talk about it a lot. So, I told him, like, hey, you know, I've had a rough day. I've been in bed all day. I'm not that talkative. I've just been really having anxiety. And he just seemed like he had no idea what anxiety felt like. Like, he had no clue it was foreign to him. And this was a huge red flag to me. And I know you're going to be like, why? Like, why would someone doesn't experience anxiety? Who cares? Because never in my life, and I've been in the community for a long time, have I ever met a trans person who does not know what anxiety feels like. So then I get suspicious. I search for his number on, like, you know, that reverse thing. Like, I saw it on Catfish, so I entered his number, and I got a different name than what he gave me. And normally I'd be like, oh, that's just his dead name, you know what I mean? Except it was a guy's name. So then I think, like, maybe it's his dad. It's his dad, you know what I mean? So I look for him on Facebook, and I find him. He is a straight-up cis guy. You're gonna be like, how could you tell he was cis? I fucking could tell. I could tell. You could just... I'm sorry. People are gonna be like, you can't always tell, and you're right. But this just stunk of, like, this is a cis dude posing as a trans dude. I just knew it in my gut. Plus, he had, like, the family had, like, pictures of him as a little kid and, like, stuff like that. So, like, I knew at that moment, like, this was a cis guy. So I confronted him, and of course, he tried to, like, play it off like, you know, I was full of shit. But then finally he admitted to it, and he gave me this line of, like, oh, you know, I come from a traditional family, and they don't accept that I'm gay, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't fucking make sense, because why would you pose as trans? That's, like, fetishy. He sought out trans men. It gets worse. He posed as a pre-op top trans man. He bought a prosthetic chest and posed with it in pictures to look like he was showing before and after pictures with binding. And then he stole tons of pictures from other trans men. So obviously I exposed him to the community, I blocked him, whatever. He comes back and gets a bunch more followers right after it. He contacted me like a million times after. God, I hope he doesn't follow me. How fucked up is that? Alright, you guys, we're doing a fit check. Ready? So up close, we got the Jack Skellington hat. He picked it out himself. Well, it's Eli's. He stole it from him, but he picked it out. His Fortnite hoodie he picked out. Let's show him the Minecraft shirt. Ready? Can we step back? Jeans on. Chicken boots, okay. Then I just got a black hoodie, black wife beater, blue shorts, dad socks, slides. You know, I know, very surprising, you know. So I think we look good, don't we? Ready? Pose. All right, can you say bye?
Bye.
Bye. He picked out his entire outfit himself, and he dresses himself now, so that's pretty cool. Roman. Can I show you? Can I show this? Can I show this?
Need the what?
So can I show them this picture?
Need the what?
Look, okay. He took a picture of him. He takes a picture of an egg haul I did from outside from the farm, stretches them out, and on it he wrote, meet the what? What does that mean? Meet the what? What are you... What? Oh my... Roman, he just put a... Like the seatbelt, like, clip thing, you know? Like the thing you clip it in. He slipped a dime into it and couldn't get it out. So last night I ate an entire pint of ice cream. First mistake. Then my husband, he cops out early. He's like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. And I was like, alright, I'm just gonna stay up for a little while. Second mistake. Then I decide it's a great time to dive into, like, cold cases and, like, mysteries of the world. Third mistake. Everything was good when I figured, oh, I'm just gonna read till I pass out, and that's fine. Except, because I ate an entire pint of ice cream, I had to shit my fucking brains out consistently. Now listen, usually when I read this type of stuff and I gotta, like, pee in the middle of the night, my husband, he's up late, so, like, he just comes with me to the bathroom, and, like, that's so sweet, but I usually have him with me, you know what I mean? But he was dead out, talking in his sleep already. I was on my own. So literally, I'm, like, running terrified to the bathroom, shitting my brains out, running back to the bed, getting under the covers, repeat, repeat, repeat. Now, during all of this, like, I'd be so happy when my cat would bust open the door and come into the bathroom. I'd be like, oh my god, I was so scared, thank god my cat's in here with me, thank god. And meanwhile, this is my cat. This is the cat in question. Like, I love my cat, but what is this dude gonna do? If anything adverse happens, what is he gonna do? Case in point. So I'm, like, trying to get out of this mindset of, like, everything I just read. You know, it's freaking me out. I gotta switch gears. And I found a unique way to switch gears, but it worked. There was this chick online, on live, like, live streaming, selling paparazzi jewelry. And listen, I'm not into MLMs, but I watched that shit for, like, a solid hour. There ain't nothing more flashy and bright than costume jewelry. So this shit really took me out of, like, you know, the dark place that my reading had taken me to. And by that, I just mean that I thought I was gonna get murked, you know, while going to the bathroom, because, you know, I'm definitely a hot commodity that a kidnapper would want, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I did. That's what helped me. Watched a paparazzi live stream almost all night. What do you know? You guys, quick, I wanted to, save this, hold on. Okay, I wanted to save, this $10 bill and not spend it, because it's an old-fashioned one from 95 that I got from when I got Roman McDonald's earlier. And I wanted to save it and cherish it, but we're at Wendy's, so I'm definitely gonna spend it. So I just wanted to make a video so I can remember this forever, that I had it. And it's gonna be, spent on a Dave's Double, but I had it once, and this is a memory of it. Clearly, you can see where my priorities are, but I'm excited about it that I got it. If even for a moment, and then it was fleeting into a Wendy's cash register so that I can have a greasy burger. I had it for a moment. Okay.
Hi, I'm Googaman.
Listen, I was, like, so uncomfortable as a woman. I went through so many different aesthetics trying to feel, like, all right. Oh my god, I gotta take you guys through this. It's a wild ride. So this was probably in my quote-unquote emo phase, I guess. Yeah, I was not doing well here. Actually, I was on the verge of doing horribly. So, like, I wasn't at that point yet, but I was well on my way. So yeah. Back when I was growing up, they called it, like, goth, but I not that I ever self-identified as such, I just went through so many different fucking aesthetics, and this was one of them. Now, things were pretty rough here. It was pretty rough. But this was, like, you can see in the background, like, I idolized, like, Courtney Love, Fiona Apple, you know, people like that, Lana Del Rey. Am I lying? Was she even around when I was that age? Yeah, she was. This was after I had my son. This was in my pinup phase, except this was nowhere near how pinup I got. I wish I had, like, more photos from back then, but those who know me know what I'm talking about. I used to wear, like, actual, like, pinup dresses all the time and shit. Like, I'd curl my hair like Marilyn Monroe. Maybe I have a video. Hold on. So this is probably, oh, I can get smaller now, it's not a video. Okay, this is probably one of my favorite aesthetics I had as a woman, because I think I look badass as shit. And unironically, this is close to when I started to transition. And we're getting deeper into the it's about to happen area. I used to say that I looked like Ruby Rose if she, like, really liked to eat hoagies. I'm sorry, I lied. This is actually the best aesthetic I had as a girl. I actually forgot this one. I don't know what you'd call this. I guess my high maintenance phase. Like, always had nails, extensions. My shirt here actually says, I enjoy romantic walks to the bank. So swag. But, yeah, not my favorite aesthetic that I've had. Yeah, as a woman, I literally felt so uncomfortable that I was looking for any way to feel comfortable. I would see other women and how they presented themselves, and I'd think if I can just, like, latch onto that and, like, embody that, maybe I'll feel okay. And plot twist, it never worked, and here we are.
See you at the crossroads. I beg you, please set me now. I'm hollow, life break me down, and I know if I'll be found, oh, so my low home, yeah.
For those who don't know, one of my rises to fame was my big yellow duck Howard. And one day I did a video with him, and I got a comment from somebody, and they said, oh, look, it's Humpty Dumpty and his golden goose. So I look at the page of whoever sent this comment to me. It was a 15-year-old girl, and her bio said, 15 years old, lesbian, right? And so I did a video, and I says to her, I'm like, listen, I don't know how you're going to take this news, but I was 15 once. I was also a snarky 15-year-old lesbian once. And now I'm Humpty Dumpty with a golden goose. So do with that information what you will. So earlier today, my husband was ragging on me because I'm older than him. And we were about to go out the door. And he, like, held the door open for me. And I was like, don't even say it. And he's like, why would you say don't even say it? What was I going to say? And I was like, I don't know. I was afraid you'd say some shit like ladies first. And he looks at me and he goes, baby, I do not have an old lady as a wife. I have an old man as a wife. He's literally not wrong. Like, he's literally not wrong. When I was a little kid, my cousins and I always pretended to be Spice Girls. And so I was Baby Spice, of course. You know what I mean? You know it. And one of my cousins was Sporty Spice. The other one was... Oh, what was my little cousin? What spice was she?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I can't, maybe, I don't think she was Posh Spice. Maybe, I don't think so. But my aunt still has pictures of me dressed up as Baby Spice with my two cousins.
I thought there was like a clothing line, a store, something posh.
Oh, you mean Oshkosh Bagosh. That was my shit when I was 3 years old. Yeah, that's what you mean.
Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I always had them overalls on with the little pink flower. I still have overalls, you guys. I haven't pulled them out yet, but I got them.
We gotta get some farmer overalls and some muck boots.
Yeah, just know that I have overalls in that dresser, and they can come out at any time. Just know that.
You know, why won't you bring them out for me?
I don't know. I'm self-conscious.
You self-conscious?
I mean, I would say I've gained some lbs, but I was bigger when I had those, so they must still fit. And you know why I got them? Because this guy did a review on them, and he's like, these overalls are so good. He's like, I bought them because I have chronic, like, crack or something, like crack hanging out.
Oh my
and the overalls, like, cured his problem. I'm like, oh, I gotta get these.
Alright, so we're gonna bleep some words.
Why?
Kickin' bacon hot sauce. Fill it in with a donkey.
Fill it in with a donkey.
Like, donkey kicking bacon hot sauce.
You can say it on live.
I don't know if you can. I was just trying to be nice.
Rosie.
Ass kicking chili lime hot sauce. You happy? Ass kicking sriracha hot sauce. Ass kicking Cajun hot sauce. I can't read it. That's the problem.
Yeah, with the Like you're a little kid cussing for the first time. It's like that audio when it goes, I swear a little bit. Oh, you do? What's your favorite swear word? And she goes, probably fuck. That's like you. Oh my god, and we just laughed like they do in the video. Oh my god. I've been sober for probably 8 years. My husband has been sober for about 3 years. One thing about my husband that, like, I think is just so admirable is that my husband was not sober when I first met him. That's not the admirable part. And I didn't, like, make him get sober. Like, he would have eventually have had to. It was at a point. But I wouldn't have, like, I didn't make him. But because on weekends my son was with, my son was with his father. At the time, my son's dad was alive. And so on weekends, I would go to Vermont with Eli, and Roman would go to, off with his dad, and he would stay sober the entire weekend just because he wanted to be able to get to Roman if there was an emergency. Because I don't do well on highways and stuff. I drive, but I really don't like highways and long distances. So he literally got sober partially. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't the only reason, but it was like a motivator for him to stay sober, was so that he could always get to Roman safely. And I think that's so nice. So a year ago today, I decided to like put some, fake tan on, and I recruited my husband to do my back for me because I couldn't reach it. And he's never, done anything like that before. I don't even think he's ever, touched fake tan in his entire life or anything like that. So here's some of the stuff he said to me during the process. I don't know how to do this. I'm gay, but not that gay. Oh, I'm supposed to rub it in. Okay, he was leaving it in globs on my back. In globs, not rubbing it in. He didn't realize he was supposed to rub it in. Then he says, yes, I'm a fairy, but I'm a backwoods fairy. I've never touched this stuff before. And possibly my favorite one, he looks at me after it's done developing and says, it's like you're wearing the skin of two different people. Because it was all two-toned. The fuck? Today my husband says to me, hey, you're gonna take your shirt off and sing happy birthday to people? And I'm like, what? What? Listen, I've done worse on TikTok. Honestly, I do on the daily, but it just kind of came out of left field. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Why do you think I'm gonna sing happy birthday to people shirtless? He's like, 'cause I saw you wanted to do Cameo. I was like, is that what you think that is? You take your clothes off and just start singing happy birthday? He's like, yeah. It's kind of it's like a spicy sight, except it's for birthdays. He didn't say spicy, but we'll just go with that. And I just want to point out that I told my husband about that, literally, at least 3 to 4 days ago. So, for 3 to 4 days, he has been letting it simmer that he thinks that I signed up for something, or tried to sign up for something that, requires me to take my shirt off and to sing individual happy birthday messages to people.
Who's your celebrity doppelganger?
I've never been told I have one.
Really?
No.
You don't think you look like any celebrity?
No.
Hi, Andy. Who does she look like?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
I don't have the boobs for that. She's hot,
I don't know
though.
if I see Scarlett Johansson.
I've been told.
Okay, every time we do videos in the kitchen, everybody mentions these little yellow chairs. I think they're little tykes. Yes. I have had these chairs since I was 3 years old. My parents had them for me when I was little. I had a table, so I'd sit at the table in them. So these chairs are at least 28 years old. These chairs are 28 years old, and everybody comments on them because they're like, I haven't seen them in so long. So yes, it is true that your 80s or 90s childhood nostalgic aesthetic is in the kitchen. This is it.
I'm trying, honey, not to get in your way.
No, but really, everybody comments on them. I just had to show them off.
Oh, that's okay.
this is a symbolism, or it's symbolic of how much I have changed for the better and grown up. And let me tell you why. Because when we were in Walmart and I couldn't get the license plate light off of the black thing, I'm not a mechanic or good with cars, I don't know what it's called. I needed something flat to get it open, so I used this fork. And I had to buy it instantly because I couldn't not buy it. And that's self-growth. The fact that I had to buy a dollar fork because I felt like I was ripping off a multi-million-dollar company that doesn't give a shit I even exist. But I think it's good. I don't know, but I bought it. I did the right thing and I bought it. I'm a grown man now. I'm a changed man.
I'm a grown man. Baby, I think your height stopped growing a little.
Hey, that's mean.